Hello, my babes. Hello, my babes. Hello, my babes. So, I want to start this video with saying that you will probably hear some background noises, such as snoring, breathing. Both my dog and one of my cats is sleeping in the same room with me right now, so you'll probably hear them at some point. But today's video will be me chatting about some recent movies and shows that I've watched. I don't really know why I wanted to do this video, but I did. This is not my iPad, so if I fumble around with it, that's why. Okay. But I thought the noises would be good, the sounds would be good. Also, before I forget, here's a photo of my dog. His name is Bishop. He is snoring right now a little bit, so I just wanted to put a face with the sound. He's adorable. He's a Saint Bernard. He's about 1.5 years old. And yes, that's what he looks like. So let's get started. So I did want to say I really didn't become a movie person up until recently. I think that this year, at the age of 25, is the first year that I have really been able to hold, I've really been able to watch a whole movie without getting distracted. My attention span has finally reached that point where watching whole movies is tolerable and actually enjoyable. Before, it would take me like 3 days to watch one movie, which I think probably really annoyed anyone that I was watching a movie with. So I don't know why, but lately I've been into movies, so let's start with the little movie chit-chat. I wanted to start with this movie. It is called Independence Day. Now, I'm pretty sure this was a pretty popular movie. I watched this movie because it was the day before the 4th of July. And I said, I want to watch a 4th of July movie. So, my boyfriend said, okay, Independence Day, here we go. Alright, so, yes, Independence Day. Now, I wanted to read the description of each movie, so here we go. I pulled them all up on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't really know how Rotten Tomatoes scoring system works, but it looks here like it looks like it goes by tomato meter and audience score. I think the tomato meter is like what professional movie critics scored it, which I don't really care about that. I'd much rather tell you the audience score, which it was scored 75 out of 100, one would assume. So, yes, 75. Now, my rating for the movie, I'm going to rate them out of 1 through 5 stars, and I gave this movie 5 fucking stars, okay? All of the movies I'm telling you about, I enjoyed. I enjoy most movies. Alright, so here's the description on Rotten Tomatoes for Independence Day. In the epic adventure film Independence Day, strange phenomena surface around the globe. The skies ignite. Terror races through the world's major cities. As these extraordinary events unfold, it becomes increasingly clear that a force of incredible magnitude has arrived. Its mission? Total annihilation over the 4th of July weekend. I'm trying not to laugh. The last hope The last hope to stop the destruction is an unlikely group of people united by fate in unimaginable circumstances. It is a PG-13 movie. So this movie, to me, is basically anything anyone could ever want in a movie. Both my animals are snoring right now. I don't know how anyone could have any complaints about this movie other than it's predictable. That doesn't mean anything to me. It's punchy. It takes place on the 4th of July. It's just a good old American movie, you know what I'm saying? And I thoroughly enjoyed it. From what I remember, Will Smith had like some good one-liners in there. I think he punches an alien at some point. Yes, it's about aliens coming to the Earth to destroy all of humanity and take over the planet. If you don't want spoilers, too bad, because this video is gonna have spoilers. But yeah, I mean, I was smiling while watching this. I was laughing. I was having a great time. It's family friendly. It's rated PG-13. And I think it was a great fucking movie. I mean, it's amazing how much work goes into making movies. I think this is why I never really watch a movie and hate it. Because so much work. So many man hours goes into making these things. I mean, how can you not enjoy it, you know? And if you just want like a good old American movie that makes you just go, fuck yeah, I would highly recommend this one if you haven't seen it already. Not exactly sure what year it came out. Okay, so it came out in 1996. I assumed it was more recent than that. Yeah. Like I said, it has Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum in it, and it's just an amazing movie. Really fun to watch. I'm not a movie critic, obviously. Don't think I need to explain that one. I've just been into watching movies lately. Okay, the next movie we're gonna talk about is called Bad Lieutenant, and it has Nicolas Cage in it. Now this is apparently either a remake or a sequel. I think it's a remake though. It's called Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Okay. This movie came out in 2009. The original Bad Lieutenant I have not watched, so can't compare it. Alright, so on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie was scored for the audience score 57%. Wow. Me personally, I would give this movie 5 stars out of 5. I don't know why people wouldn't like this. Let me read the information to you I don't know how to say this. Terrence McDonough. McDonough? We'll go with that. Terrence McDonough isn't doing so well. He has a nasty painkiller addiction, courtesy of an injury he sustained while rescuing a prisoner during Hurricane Katrina. Plus, there's his alcoholic father, boozy wife, and prostitute girlfriend. The boozy wife belongs to, wow, that's old school. The boozy wife is his stepmom, not his wife, from what I remember. Anyways, and he's just been saddled with a rookie partner. Now Terrence must pull himself back from the edge of insanity to investigate a series of murders that has the city on edge. In my opinion, that is not a good description of this movie. As if my description is going to be much better. We'll see. So, here's my description of this movie. The main character, played by Nicolas Cage, is a cop of some sort. He saves this prisoner during Hurricane Katrina who is going to drown. You can tell immediately that this cop is a douchebag. He saves the prisoner reluctantly, and he gets an award of some sort, but he also gets an injury while saving the prisoner. And he gets addicted to painkillers. And the painkillers turn into harder drugs. Yeah, and he basically becomes a drug abusing cop / lieutenant. So, the reason I watched this movie is because I told my boyfriend, I want to watch a movie that makes me say, what the fuck? And he put this movie on, and I will say it delivered 100% on that. This movie is fucked up. There's some fucked up scenes that will make you say, oh, that's not right. So if you're into that, I would highly suggest this movie. As I said, 5 out of 5 stars. One of my... Now, who directed this movie? Who directed this movie? One second. I don't know a lot about directors. This movie was directed by... Where does it say? Werner Herzog, yes. I don't know a lot about movie directors, but Werner Herzog is one director that I know a little bit about. I'm a little bit familiar with. And this movie starts out and you think, oh, this is just a normal movie, and then it gets a little weird. There's some weird shots in it that I really appreciated, and yeah, this movie will definitely make you say, huh? What? Jesus. So, yeah. Nicolas Cage has some drug-induced hallucinations that have to do with, like, iguanas. And it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny movie. I would highly suggest it. I apologize. I had to cut that, and I'm not quite sure where I left off. That's Bishop. Anyways, yes. There's a pretty interesting crack smoking scene in this movie. Yeah. Sorry, it just makes me smile. Yeah, pretty fucked up movie, and I would definitely rate it 5 stars. As I said, I'm pretty generous with my ratings, but that's only because I think they're deserved. Let's see, what do we have next? So, alright, on a more serious note, Well, that last movie was pretty serious, but we have a story of chance being there. And let's see when this movie came out. Pretty interested to know. I think it's an older movie. As I said, I don't really know how to work this iPad very well. So, it came out in 1979. And on Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is 92%. So people liked this one. The movie description is: simple-minded chance, a gardener who has resided in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. townhouse of his wealthy employer for his entire life. Let me start over on this. I'm not great at reading. Simple-minded chance, a gardener who has resided in the Washington, D.C. townhouse of his wealthy employer for his entire life and been educated only by television, is forced to vacate his home when his boss dies. While wandering the streets, he encounters business mogul Ben Rand, who assumes Chance to be a fellow upper-class gentleman. Soon Chance is ushered into high society, and his unaffected gardening wisdom makes him the talk of the town. Now, let's see. I enjoyed this movie. My rating for this movie is 4 out of 5. Only because it was ever so slightly boring. Now, that might be because I watched it after I had watched those last two, which are just pretty fucking crazy movies. So, but I did really enjoy it. You know what, I'll admit, some stuff did go over my head. I'm not the most brightest individual. I'm not the most well-educated, so I'm sure I didn't understand some of the references and all that stuff, but I really enjoyed it. And the reason why I enjoyed it is because Chance, the main character, Chance the gardener, he is, well, they call him simple-minded. That's not how I would explain him. He's extremely go with the flow. And that inspired me. You know, he got kicked out of his house because his boss died, and he has grown up in this house his whole life. He's never left this house. He doesn't know anything but this house and taking care of the garden at this house. And somehow, by chance, he ends up in this extremely wealthy man's house. This man's wife ends up with Chance. She loves him. He meets the president. He goes on talk shows. He becomes like a sort of advisor to the president, I guess. And it's all by chance. They take his extremely simple, how do I say this? I don't know how to explain exactly, but they believe him to be, I guess, extremely wise, but really he's just talking about what he knows, which is gardening. They think he's using it as a metaphor, but really he's just talking about gardening, and he just goes with the flow, and I just thought it was really funny and enlightening in a way. So yeah, I want to be more like Chance. He just takes things as they come, and yeah, that's just how he lives his life. I guess because they say he's simple-minded, but like I say, I don't see it that way at all. I think he's an extremely enlightened individual. There is some sort of Illuminati tie-in that, like I said, it kind of went over my head. I don't really know about all that sort of stuff. you're interested in that, you might find it interesting. Alright. Now we're going to get into some shows that I've been watching. So, let's see. Mind Over Murder. This is a show that I have not finished yet. I believe there's at least one more episode. That... Oh, just making sure I'm still recording. Ooh, thank goodness. Mind Over Murder. Okay, this is a true crime show, and I will say the crime that took place, that this is based on, is extremely gruesome and fucked up, so if that bothers you, do not watch this. But let me read the description to you. This is on HBO, by the way, if you want to watch it. The HBO original 6-part documentary series, Mind Over Murder, directed by Nan-Fu Wang and produced by Vox Media Studios, chronicles the bizarre and psychologically complex story of 6 individuals who were convicted for the 1985 murder of a beloved 68-year-old grandmother, Helen Wilson, in Beatrice, Nebraska. Despite 5 of the individuals originally confessing to the crime, the Beatrice 6, as they became known, were exonerated by DNA evidence in 2009. A turn of events which divided the rural town and incensed the family of Helen Wilson. I don't really know what incensed means. Okay. As the filmmakers track the case from the murder through investigation, trial, exoneration, and 2 civil suits, shifting perspectives cloud the truth. A stranger-than-fiction tale emerges that raises salient questions about the reliability of confessions and memory in criminal cases. Okay, I had a bit of a hard time with that one. Okay. So, as I said, this is still coming out. This is a brand new show. So I think I've watched 4 episodes, so there must be 2 more coming out. It said 6. So if you're interested in true crime, this is a very interesting case. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with true crime. I love watching it, but I know I probably shouldn't. Sometimes I will take breaks from watching it. Like I said, this case is absolutely vile. They don't focus very much on the case, though, in this series. More so on what happened with the conviction of these 6 people. I really like how they are unfolding this episode by episode. Of course, I would love to have watched it all in one go, because I think we're so used to that these days with streaming services. We don't really have to watch things episode by episode anymore. We can just watch it all at once. But they're only airing this, 1 episode a week. So, as I said, I really like how they're unfolding this, because you start out with thinking, oh geez, all of these people did this. 5 of them confessed to this. And then the second episode, I think it's more of that. The third, you start questioning maybe, and then I think this last episode that I watched, which was the 4th, and I might be wrong about which episode was which. You're totally flipped, and you think, oh my gosh, these people were convicted and spent time in jail or prison, I'm not sure which one, for a crime they didn't commit. And then at the end of the episode, it's another cliffhanger, and you said, huh? maybe they just do it. So, yeah, I would really suggest this if you like true crime. Like I said, they don't really spend too much time on the actual crime itself. It's more so the unfolding and the corruption in the police force and how these people were convicted. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I'm really looking forward to how it's gonna end. And because this is new, I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Did I give spoilers? I don't think so. Nothing too important. But yeah, so I've watched that recently. And I do have a couple more for you. And I would like to say rest in peace to Helen Wilson, the woman that was murdered. Just out of respect, I want to say that. Okay. So, on a way more lighthearted note, we will go with Britain's Hidden Villages with Dame Penelope Keith. Now, I am not watching these in order. I'm just watching them as I feel like it, choosing an episode that interests me. So let me read you the description. This is on... I'm not exactly sure what this is on. You'll have to look it up. I think it's on Tubi and Freevee. Okay. Might be on other stuff too, though. Dame Penelope Keith. What does dame mean? I don't know. Dame Penelope Keith visits England's picturesque villages to see how they are holding up in the 21st century. For the most part, she finds them quirky, resilient, and, well, picturesque. Okay. So, just like they said, this woman, who I don't know much about, Penelope Keith is her name apparently, she goes to these villages throughout England, and they're so quaint and beautiful and green and lush, and if you just want to relax and watch something, I think this is perfect for it. I love watching this. It's just, I just love seeing these old buildings, and there's just these quaint little villages. It's just so nice. It really kind of makes me want to move there, like just move to one of these villages that have hardly any people living there. And I am a homebody, so I don't really need to live in a city or anything. Yeah, so I have been kind of just thinking about not living in the US. This would be years from now that I would end up moving, but it's just something in my mind. I'm like, that'd be interesting, I think I would want to move somewhere like that, just somewhere quiet and peaceful, and maybe have some animals, some sheep or something. I think that would be perfect for me. So yeah, if you want to watch something relaxing and calm, I would recommend this. So, let's see. I believe I have one more for you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I mean, I don't really know if anyone will be interested in hearing my ramblings about these shows and movies, but I just wanted to talk about them. The beast is moving. Alright, so we have one more show to talk about. This is called The Righteous Gemstones. Oh, okay. The Righteous Gemstones. This is also on HBO. So, that's the cover. So, well into the second generation of a grand televangelist tradition, the world-famous gemstone family is living proof that worship pays dividends in all sizes. Patriarch Eli, the man most responsible for the tremendous success of the family's megachurch, is in mourning over the loss of his wife. Jesse, the eldest of the 3 grown gemstone siblings, looks to lead in his father's footsteps, but finds his past sins jeopardizing the family ministry. He's just moving about. Next in line comes middle sister Judy, who secretly lives with her fiancé and dreams of escaping the gemstone compound. Rounding out the dysfunctional trio is pseudo-hipster Calvin, the youngest of the preachers and a thorn in Jesse's side. As the family battles numerous threats to their renowned religious empire, they continue to spread the good word and make a solid buck doing so. So, as it said, this is about a family who runs a mega church, and although I don't know, that description sounded kind of serious, it's a really funny show. It's a comedy. Although they do get into some serious trouble. Let me think. This was something I watched a couple months ago, so let me think of how I felt about it. I definitely enjoyed it, as I enjoy all of the movies and shows that I told you about. Oh, one thing I do like about this is they have southern accents, so it made it funnier. I actually thought they were exaggerating their accents, but then I watched a couple of these actors on another show, and they had the same accents, so I was thinking, oh wow, that's actually their real accents. Yeah, I think the family dynamics in this show is really funny. I think specifically the sister, the middle child in it, I think her character is really, really funny. She's like a full-blown weirdo, and I love it. Yeah, it's just kind of a really silly comedy show. And I don't know if they might have another season coming out, actually. But yeah, I don't really think I have much else to say. Those are all movies and shows that I would recommend if you're looking for something to watch. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go give Bishop some water and take him outside, because he actually did a really good job with being quiet, so. And so did my cat, Little Blessing, down there. So, good job for them. Okay, that's that. As I said, I'm no critic or movie reviewer, but I hope you enjoyed this for some reason. And yeah. Maybe you just like falling asleep to someone rambling. I know I do, so that's the end of this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from moi. I've been putting out a video every Monday, mostly ASMR videos, because that's just what I'm inspired to make, because I watch more ASMR than any other type of video on YouTube, so yeah. Enjoy your day or night, and I'll see you next Monday.